Folks, Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, here today for the original teachings of the Christ. We're going through the New Testament, and we're going through it in chronological order, a chronological order in which the words of the Christ are do appear, and we're going through those in order. And while you're here, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That helps you never miss any of the videos, especially if you hit that little bell in the upper right-hand corner there. And it also gives us more subscribers, which drives our videos up the rankings so that people can find them more easily on an organic basis, meaning not looking for us specifically, but finding us according to subject matter and things of that nature. So I could really use your help to subscribe, to like the videos, to share the videos, and to leave comments or questions as well. And I do also have in the link below a link to my books, and all of the things we talk about here, they're proven conclusively within the context of these videos, but it's proven even more exhaustively because the videos are relatively short, but it's proven even more exhaustively in these books. So go ahead and get these books and get all of the proof so that you can know exactly what we're talking about. And you can know that we're not just making stuff up, because some of it does seem quite difficult to comprehend, but I assure you, it's the first time in 2,000 years that you're hearing the real true message of the Christ, the real true message of the New Testament, without any filters of religiosity. So let's go ahead and get right into the scripture today. And we're in Mark today, Mark chapter 3. And that's where we're going to start. And this is a great example of, and you see me looking up because I have a large monitor behind my laptop monitor. It makes it easier for me to see. And I guess that's part of being nearing your 54th birthday. But if someone asks why you're always looking up, well, that's why I'm looking up. I'm also here in my community and have big windows, and sometimes things distract me, but we're just having our coffee together as friends, right? And I would continue to ask you to send your good energy and good juju towards my son who's recovering. I'm in the hospital, and you've seen Joshua and heard him on these broadcasts, and I just ask you to continue to send him a good juju. But speaking of good juju, this is a great example of how the New Testament to a spiritual person has different layers of meaning. And it's what Yeshua was talking about. It's what the Christ was talking about. And we're going to talk Sunday about moving past Yeshua. You know, it's Jesus, Yeshua. And Yeshua is almost a pseudo-enlightenment, but we're going to talk about that on Sunday. So you'll notice I'm not saying Yeshua much anymore. I'm talking about the Christ, because that's really what it's all about, and that's what the Christ encouraged us to do. But anyway, we don't want to get into that right now. But as Christ entered the synagogue, we read here in Mark chapter 3, that there was a man which had a withered hand, and they being the Pharisees and the Herodians, and that's going to be very, very important as we move forward, they watched him to see whether he would heal on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. So here's the Christ, the Spirit of the Christ trying to do something good. The Christ trying to do something good, religion trying to accuse him for doing something good. And it's no different in the world today. The Spirit of the Christ is looking to heal. The Spirit of the Christ is looking to make whole. And the religiosity of the day is looking to defend themselves, defend their Sabbaths, their sacred cows, and accuse those that are trying to bring wholeness to people and not religion. And then the Christ said to the man with the withered hand, "Stand forth." And he said to him, said to all the people gathered, "Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days, or to do evil, to save life, or to kill?" But they held their peace. And when he had looked around, that being the Christ, and he looked on them with anger. And that's interesting. We'll look at that. And he was grieved for the hardness of their hearts. He said to the man, stretch forth your hand. He stretched it, and his hand was restored whole as the other. And then the Pharisees went forth and took counsels with the Herodian. You're going to see the definite article there, I believe, and it's talking about a specific Herodian, how they might destroy him. Very interesting stuff. Let's get into the Greek of it because it makes it even more interesting. I mean, on the face of it, you know, it's not about religion. It's not about holy days. It's about making people whole. It's about serving people. It's about helping people. It's about being angry at the situation that's going on. That's why sometimes you see the Christian whistleblower all fired up. It's about bringing wholeness and healing to people. And it's about the religious class coupling with the political class trying to destroy those that want to bring wholeness because they're trying to keep people wrapped up into religiosity. Now let's look at the Greek here. And let's take it from the top, shall we? And again, the Christ enters into the synagogue. And there's a man with a withered hand. Now let's look at this. What does withered mean? Withered means dried up, parched, wasting away. To dry up, to waste away. Okay? So, wasting away was what? His hand. And here's where we get deep. Yeah, it's a hand, but also it means instrument a person uses to accomplish their purpose, their intention, their plan. The instrument a person uses to accomplish their purpose, their intention, their plan. Do you hear that? Accomplish purpose, accomplish intention, accomplish plan. If you have any spirituality about you, you're saying, wow. But what this man had was withered, drying up purpose. Drying up intention, drying up plan. This man's great basic purpose, this man's reason for being, look at it again. His purpose, his intention, his plan was withering up and drying up. Now, do you see the deepness of that? This scripture is really not about a man with a leprous hand or a hand with palsy. It's about a man, really about all men, having their great purpose, their great intention, their great plans withered. And the question is, withered by what? And then we go into Mark 3:2. They were watching him, whether on the Sabbath, and of course the Sabbath is the Sabbath. It's one of, and remember he said the holy days, so it's one of the holy days. Will he heal? I bet you that says make whole. Will he, as a physician, restore? Will he, as a physician, restore? Does anybody remember what Yeshua or what Christ said he had come to do? He said it wasn't those that thought they were well that needed a physician, but those that knew they were sick, that knew that their intention, that knew that their purpose was limited and being withered. So what was withering their purpose? What was withering their intention? Well, it was all tied up in Sabbath. And Sabbath is emblematic of religion and religiosity. So will he restore him? In order that they might accuse. And what does accuse mean here? Prosecute, charge, accuse. And if you read through the comments on some of these videos, I get prosecuted, charged, and offended a lot because I dare to speak up against religiosity. So, I mean, we understand what's being talked about. So he said to the man, having that withered intention, withered purpose, withered, that dried up intention, to stand up, wake up, rouse, raise up. Do I have to talk to people like you about what the Christ was saying? He's saying, listen, man, wake up, wake up. Your purpose is being withered up. Your intention is being withered up. Your plan is being withered up by religion. So he says, wake up. He didn't just say stand up. He said, wake up. Wake up, man. And what happens? The guy said, and then he says to the man said, or the Christ says to the man, is it lawful? Is it permitted? Possible? Is it permitted? Is it lawful on the Sabbath do good? What a ridiculous question. Can you do that which is good on your religious days? The very fact that you have to ask that question shows the enslaving nature of religion. And the important thing to know, he's talking about a Sabbath. And a Sabbath is something that Judaism has, Saturday. It's something that Christianity has, Sunday. And it's something that Islam has, Friday. So in one fell swoop, Yeshua, or the Christ, is crushing all three Abrahamic faiths. So he's saying to the follower of Islam, is it okay to do good on your self-appointed religious day? He's saying to the Jew, is it okay to do good on your self-appointed religious day? He's saying it to the Christian, is it okay to do good on your self-appointed religious day? Or should we do evil? Sit on our hands and do nothing? Should we just look past those that are withering? Should we just look past those that are drying up? Should we just look past those? Or should we continue to do what you do, which is kill, put to death, abolish, stand against those that are trying to find a purpose? But they were silent. And true confrontation, like you get from the Christian whistleblower, of religious absurdity is met with nothing but crushing silence. And then he looked around, he was upset with them. He said, stretch out your hand. He stretched it out. The hand became whole, so the man, received his intention, his purpose back. Then what happened? What happened was, let's see what this is. See, the definite freaking article. Bam! I told you it was going to be the definite article. So the Pharisees were upset, and they took counsel with the Herodian. Who is the Herodian in the New Testament? It's rat bastard Paul the Apostle, family of Herod the Tetrarch. They're talking, and he was also a Pharisee. So the Pharisees, undoubtedly Paul was there, Saul of Tarsus, and they took counsel with the Herodian, which is, it's not the Herodians, it's the Herodian. And they took counsel against Christ, how they might destroy him. Wow, wow, wow. They're trying to destroy your purpose. They're trying to destroy your intention. They're trying to destroy the message of the Christ, and they're trying to destroy your individual. Wither up, dry up, and have blow away your purpose, your intention, your plans. This is what the Christian whistleblower is all about. Letting you know this stuff so that you have the option to take this and unindoctrinate yourself.